Hotline Miami 2 is the sequel to the acclaimed indie game Hotline Miami. I'm going to go over the pros and cons of it, and you can decide for yourself whether you think you should buy it. So, onto the pros. The best thing I think about the game is its number of unique levels. Now, each individual level puts its own spin on the original Hotline Miami formula, changing up the gameplay significantly. Not like what the Masks did in the first one, where they would tweak the gameplay slightly, significantly different each level. There are a total of 9 categories of level, and that's and a total of 13 playable characters. I could go through all of them, but it would take too long, and I want to keep this as short as possible. So, great music as well. Always, you should just expect that from a Hotline Miami game at this point. But yeah, music is even better this time round. Just my personal opinion, but I personally think it is. Now then, on to the cons. The cons are a real biggie for this game. It is far less polished than the original was. I don't care what people tell you, and I'm sure there'll be a couple of comments saying, "Oh, you're just bad at the game." I have A+ on 90% of the levels in the first game. This one is definitely more difficult, and it's not level difficulty. It is synthetically altered difficulty, and by that I mean you turn more sluggishly and it's less responsive. Now, I don't think this is a conscious choice personally. I think this is just a side effect of the game. But honestly, you turn slower, you aim slower, your character is more sluggishly controlling, and I think they did this to basically to make it seem like the faster characters are faster and the slower characters are slower. But it is really, really disconcerting and very difficult to control your character sometimes. It's just my personal opinion though. So, another thing, hitboxes for enemies are smaller. I don't think people have noticed this. I haven't seen it listed anywhere, but they are. The hitboxes used to be, I believe, about 12, 24 pixels wide. Now they're about 20, because you can't hit them in the arms anymore. Which doesn't sound like a big thing, but it makes the game far more difficult, because you basically got to use a shotgun or an Uzi. If you're not using those weapons, it's unlikely you're going to kill someone with a pistol unless you're incredibly accurate. So, another thing, glitchy doors I've noticed on the cars. It doesn't really affect gameplay at all, but it's really weird. You know, you've just completed a level, you got like an A, and then you're feeling like a badass walking out, and then you get stuck on the door of your car, and it's just strange. Anyway, also, I'd like to point out the level editor is missing. I hope they patch it in soon. I haven't seen any news on it though. I don't know, that might have changed by the time I put out the video, but it's not there. At least not in the build I've played. I've completed the game now, and it's just not there. So, is it worth your time? I would have to say it depends whether you played the first game. It's a lot more story focused, and if you're like me and you really love the story of Hotline Miami, you're gonna love it, because it's so many references and so many little kind of hints and things. And it's the same approach to storytelling in the first one, where it's you just can't, you don't know what the hell is going on half the time. But yeah, if you played the first game, definitely worth buying. If you didn't, buy the first game first and play through that. Do not go straight onto the second one, because you'll get your ass handed to you. I mean, you get your ass handed to you with the first game, but at least in the first game, it's slightly more forgiving. It's not really, no, I lie, it's not more forgiving at all, but it's the storyline. You really won't understand half of what's going on in this second game. So, what would I give it out of a score out of 10? I give it 8.5 out of 10. It's getting dragged down only by the technical issues and the slight tweaks to gameplay. Now, those are really pet peeves though, so you could technically say that I'm giving it a 9 out of 10, but there's some technical issues which should have been fixed before it was released. But that's just my opinion. So, is it worth a buy? Yeah, definitely. Especially if you played the first game. If you played the second game, as I said, buy the first game first, because it's good. It's worth your money. Alright then, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the review. We are doing a few more on the channel soon. So remember, if you're watching this on Steam, there'll be a link underneath the video. Please remember to check out the rest of the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!